Well, something followed me home again today, so I bought another trailer. This is a Xpress brand from Alcom. Alcom is a pretty big trailer manufacturer. They have factories all over the US. highcountrytrailer.com is the brand name of this, and it's the model is the Xpress. So I have a 7x12 tandem axle that I've been using as my camping rig behind my truck camper for hauling camping gear and motorcycles. And I upgraded to a 7.5x14 earlier this year so that I could also have the ability to haul my Polaris Ranger. Well, I have towed my 7x12 with my Chevy Colorado a couple of times, and the way that trailer is loaded, it's really tongue heavy, and I don't haul enough weight in it to warrant having a tandem axle. And with the tongue weight being kind of heavy, it kind of tosses the truck around a little bit, even with the weight distribution hitch. So I decided to go down a step and get a single axle 6x12. This is the second 6x12 cargo trailer that I have had. In the process of researching and looking at various trailers over the last week, I was originally going to do a 6x10. But yesterday, well, actually over the weekend, I started thinking about it more and remembered the one issue with the 6x10 that I had many years ago, which never started out to be a bike hauler because I didn't have bikes at the time, but then I converted it to a bike hauler, is that the front wheel of the bike was basically right about here. And it was kind of annoying because you had no usable space in front of the bikes when the bikes were loaded in the trailer. So I took a tape measure with me to 2 different dealers yesterday and did some measuring and remembered, oh yeah, this is not going to work. I will miss the space of the 12-foot trailer that I have right now, the 7x12. So shopped around at 2 different dealers and looked at everything online, and the particular dealer that I bought this one from, Trailer Boss in Spokane, Washington, they actually have, I think, 4 different locations. Well, I looked at their other inventory at their Tri-Cities area store and saw 3 different 6x12s that were actually a much lower price than this 2-year-old leftover model that's been sitting on the lot since 2023. Those other 3 were a little bit shorter roof height, but everything else appeared to be the same. I didn't really want another charcoal colored trailer, but here you can see that's what I ended up buying. So the other dealer location in Tri-Cities had a white, a black, and a silver. So I called them up, said I want the silver one. And then not long after I got off the phone with them, I started looking at the online photos again and realized that grouping of 3 trailers, they were all grouped together under the same internet listing. They had a really shallow V-nose. The V-nose was quite a bit smaller, I guess you could say. It probably only came out maybe about to there. So that slant was a lot less of an angle before it came out to the point. And of course you had more space between the tongue jack and the front of the trailer because of the shallower V-nose. And I thought to myself, nope, if I'm going to buy a new trailer, I want as much bang for the buck and space as I can get. So I penciled up a deal on this one, and here we are. The other thing that I did like about this one is it's 79-inch height from the floor to the roof rafters. So let's take a look here. I've got quite a bit of space. I am 5'9", 69 inches. So we got lots of headroom. And then the other thing too, which I was pretty much dead set on, is this taller door. So Alcom makes 3 different door heights on their trailers: a 66 inch, a 72 inch, and a 78 inch. So they go up in 6-inch increments. And I decided if I was going to buy another trailer, I did not want a short door that I have to duck going in and out of. I have dealt with that for many, many years. So out of all of those trailers, the Wells Cargo that I have now, the 7x12, has the shortest door height, I believe. I could be wrong. It might be the same as the 6x10, but the door was essentially, the top threshold was essentially at eye level. Here's the 7x12 that I've owned since 2019. This one practically fell into my lap, but it's been a really good workhorse of a trailer. This doesn't work really good for camping in because it's not an RV style door. It's just got that bar lock on it. Very cluttered and messy inside right now. So Alcom trailers, they are all aluminum. My plans with this is to outfit it to haul 2 bikes. It's not likely that I would ever haul 2 bikes unless I was going on to a faraway trip, like an out-of-state trip where I wanted to go to a motorcycle event or a motorcycle rally and have a spare bike with me, or just a secondary bike to run different terrain depending on what the route is. So they are all aluminum. The only thing that's steel on these trailers is the bolts that hold the door in place, and these bolts right there, that hardware, the axle, the wheels, and the suspension. Everything else is aluminum. All LED lighting. We've got, now I didn't realize this until I picked up the trailer today, but I kind of assumed that a 6 wide would not have side marker lights, but it does. So we have a LED red marker light there, an amber one up at the front, and then we have these really cool little bitty marker lights there on the fenders. Some of my other trailers that have had a bigger pod on the fender for lights, I have modified the pod and put a little 3/4 inch amber marker light right in the end of the pod, and then wired that into the brake lights and turn signals. So if some yahoo was not paying attention while I was trying to change lanes, they would at least see my turn signal on the top of the fender. Even the roof is aluminum. Safety chains and the coupler and the tongue jack, those are also steel, plus all the bolts that hold the tongue jack in place. This one does not have trailer brakes. It's pretty much a standard thing for a single axle trailer not to have brakes on it, but I do plan to add brakes and upgrade to a trailer breakaway system and a 7-pin round RV style plug. It's got flow through vents, so as you're driving down the road, air comes in through the top vent on the other side on the front and then flows through the trailer and exhausts right there. LED taillights, of course, and then we have 3 little LED marker lights up there. 2026 trailers, I've noticed that they have changed their lighting. They're now using a long, probably about a 14 or 15 inch slim light bar for the taillights and turn signals, and then same thing up there for the ID bar. So this is kind of a twin to my bigger trailer, color-wise and size of the V-nose and whatnot. I like this one because it does not have a slanted V-nose on it. I guess trailer manufacturers do that for less wind resistance going down the road. To me, they look kind of goofy. I bought the 7x14 or 7.5x14 because it was a really good deal. I bought it from the first owner. So plans, I kind of briefly touched on that. I'm gonna outfit it to haul 2 motorcycles. Take a look inside again. It needs a bath. It's been sitting on the lot for close to 2 years, and there's bird poo and stuff on it. But that's the intake vent. We have 2 lights. I've already got lighting upgrades planned. But somewhere across the front, I don't think I'll put a toolbox in this one like is in my 7x12, because I really don't want all that excess tongue weight. I'll probably just do something a little bit different and get a small handheld carry-on style toolbox. It's nice to have all the other junk that I have in my big rollaway style toolbox in my 7x12 that's bolted to the trailer, but it's kind of overkill for this application. One of the other dealers that I looked at that had 7x12s, they had the standard height door, which was 66. And crazy thing is, they had, I think, 2 of those. And then they had another one that even had a shorter roof height, but the same door height. And that would have been a perfect match for my truck. It was pewter. But I just don't want the short door. Plus, they were shorter roof height. And, well, one of them was actually, I think maybe 2 of them were tall like this. I can't remember. They were either 74 or 79. I measured so many trailers, I've kind of lost track of all that. But their price was $1,000 more than this trailer. And this one was marked down about $2,500 because it's a 2-year-old model. So this one just made a lot more sense, even though it wasn't the ideal color. So I might use some of this scrap lumber that I got from the dealer and build some sort of a little bench to sit on. Don't really know what I'm going to do over here. And we'll just go from there. I'll probably just make plans up as I go, which is what I've been doing with the 7.5x14 that I have. I've done brake installations on trailers before, plus on my 7x12 I actually totally replaced the brakes and made a video about the self-adjusting brakes that I installed on that trailer. I had an issue where one of the wheel positions, every trip I took, if I was on the brakes just a little bit too hard on the truck, it would apply the brakes on the trailer, of course, and then it would lock up that one wheel position. So sometimes in the middle of those trips, I would loosen that wheel position, the trailer brake on it, but then the darn thing would get tight again and lock up on me. It generally only did it if I was kind of a little bit more aggressive on my trailer braking. If I was real gentle, it generally wouldn't do it, but it got so annoying dealing with that finally, the following year after I bought the trailer during the winter, I pulled it into the garage and did a complete upgrade with self-adjusting brakes. And let me tell you, self-adjusting brakes are definitely the way to go. Over time, trailer brakes will start to fade because they start to wear. And the only way to get more braking is to gradually increase your trailer brake controller. And then at some point, you're going to have to adjust the brakes. And doing that requires climbing underneath, getting a little tool to spin the star wheel and jack the trailer up off the ground, and it's not fun and it's not easy to do. It's time consuming. So this will basically primarily be a trip or a trailer for doing day trips with, which is what I've done with my little black 7x12 Wells Cargo in September and August, as I've done 2 different day trips. It's not something that I've done in a long time, but then I will also be able to, with this being a 6x12, meaning 12 foot long, I could easily have a bike strapped down in there and figure out a way to lay out a mat and sleep in here if I really needed to. When I have used a trailer like this as my camping rig, I would always unload the bikes and lock them to the trailer at a campground. But having an enclosed trailer, if a person was going to go on a long, faraway trip, the bikes are secure. You don't have to really worry about theft, like if you stop overnight and stay at a motel, or they're also protected from the weather. So that is a really good logical reason why to have an enclosed trailer. Plus it doubles as a little mini garage when you're out on your trip. The roof is totally flat. It might just have a little bit of a bow in the middle, but it's very, very minor. I have taken all the wall panels out of my 7.5 by 14. I've been crawling around underneath and whatnot, and I am very, very impressed with the construction quality of these trailers. They are built very, very nice. The welding is so much better than what you see on RVs. I'll take a look at that. Very nice. Look at the top too. So I think that just about wraps up my rambling about the new trailer that I bought. It's going to work out really good. I really would have wanted a torsion axle because a torsion axle trailer rides a lot smoother, but at the end of the day, I didn't want to spend a whole lot of money, and to get a torsion axle, I would have had to order it and probably spend about $2,000 more, and then it would take so long to get that it would be pointless to even buy it until next spring, because it wouldn't arrive at the dealer until well beyond the end of this riding season. And I generally park my bikes, put them away for the winter about mid-October, and so I've only got about a month left of riding. So for starters, I'm going to get tie down points and wheel chock hardware installed in this, and all of the rest of the stuff that I want to do to it, that's just going to wait. It'll be a later project over the winter or whatnot. So there we go. Time to get busy. Hope you enjoyed the video, and be sure to check out some of the other videos that I have up on the screen for other trailer projects and trailer stuff that I've done.